Hi, I'm Alaina. Welcome back. By the end of this video, you'll know how to deal with business anxiety to shift your mindset from stress to success. So let's dive in. First, I'm going to show you how this one mindset is causing you stress and anxiety in your business and how it's not even yours in the first place. Then the one thing you can do to get to the root of the anxiety and clear it for good. Next, I'm going to reveal 5 strategies that will help you alleviate your anxiety so you can run your business with grace and ease. By the end of this video, you'll know how to delegate like a pro to decrease anxiety and yet improve productivity and profitability. So let's get started. Now, one of the reasons, I have to say it's one of the biggest reasons, now there's a lot of things underlying it, but one of the reasons that people have so much anxiety in business is because we've basically been grown up with an employee mindset, not an entrepreneurial mindset. And there's a huge difference between the two. And so when you have an employee mindset, you're accustomed to getting paycheck every week or every 2 weeks or even once a month. But there's some level of safety that you feel as a result of getting that paycheck. Now, when you move into entrepreneurship, it sounds really shiny and beautiful, but you only eat what you kill, right? And I don't really love that expression, but it aptly describes the difference. There's no safety net there anymore for people. And so they start freaking out when they don't, subconsciously freaking out when they don't have that safety net and they don't start seeing results in their business immediately. Now, even if you've created a huge financial runway to get into entrepreneurship, at any point in time, it's going to require levels of risk and different ways of thinking that you don't have when you're an employee. And as I said, it isn't even yours to begin with. Like school, honestly, parents, when you think about it, I became a lawyer because my parents wanted to be a lawyer. And why did my parents want me to be a lawyer? Because it was a safe thing to do and I'd make lots of money. And in fact, I did make lots of money, but it wasn't safe at all because it wasn't my passion and it wasn't my purpose. I can say that I enjoy so much more what I do, but I had to conquer my own employee mindset and the risk aversion that I had at a deeper level to really be able to take action. Now, not only does that cause a lot of anxiety, but then when you add things that are going on in the world, whether they be wars, whether they be pandemics, whether they be recessions, so many people believe that, oh my God, my business isn't going to do well. I know a lot of people lost their businesses or radically decreased in the pandemic. There's no blame, there's no shame here, there's no guilt. But when you shift from an employee mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset, then you understand, oh, it just requires me to pivot right now. It just requires a little bit of difference. And I can tell you a lot of my clients, even clients like, I had one client at the time when the pandemic first started who owned a salon and spa, literally doors shut. She couldn't have anybody in there, and yet she still had to pay her staff to keep them, etc. She literally made more money with her doors shut than she had been previously when we started working together. And that's because she was able to shift out of the anxiety that she had around, how am I going to make this happen? How is my business not going to go under? And then she had an added anxiety of being the primary income earner in her family, which meant, holy crap, am I going to lose this for my family too? How am I going to support my own family? But again, she was able to shift and actually create more income. And then when her doors reopened, it was like cake. It was like total cake. So that's possible for every one of you also, no matter what the climate is, because it isn't the pandemic, it isn't the economy, it isn't the recession, it's nothing that creates the success in your business. It's what's going on up here. Now, here's the thing. I'm just talking about what's going on up here. And what I really mean by that is that it's the limiting beliefs that we have about money, business, our life, etc., what we can or can't do, what we believe that we're capable of. It's really only the meaning that we're making out of situations. And the meaning that we're making out of situations is coming from that subconscious limiting beliefs and programming that we have. So you may have a certain amount in your bank account right now, and I am not denying that that's what's actually in your bank account. Believe me, I've been there. I understand that. But you might have a certain amount of money in your bank account, and it's not the money, the amount that's causing you stress. It's the meaning that you're making out of what's in your bank account that's causing you stress. Holy cow, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. This is never going to shift. I'm going to have to hustle. How am I going to find more clients? That's what's causing the stress and anxiety. It isn't the actual amount in your bank account. And this is true of everything that's going on in your business. And when you can learn to identify that and bring in the truth, and also bring in the truth about what an abundant being you really are, then all of a sudden you can raise your vibration and start seeing opportunities that you couldn't see based on where you were before, that were there all along, but just vibrating at a different frequency. Now, another thing that will help you really conquer your business anxiety is really bringing mindfulness into your life and into your business. So what does that mean anyway? It means really focusing on being in the moment, focusing on the task at hand, and it will also make you more effective as well. So what tends to happen is we're either living in the past or focusing on the future, and typically what we're doing is projecting our past experiences onto the future, so we're afraid we're going to have the same experience over and over again, rather than just being grounded in the present moment right now. And mindfulness helps you be more present. So when you get, let's say, distracted, just bringing your mind back. Now, I do a whole bunch of videos on distraction that are really effective to help, so make sure you check those out right here. It's a 2-part series that will really show you how to slay your distractions for good. But what you understand is that when you're feeling distracted, you start just focusing on, oh, there I am distracted again, bring your mind back. I love to gamify things like this because then it takes the shame and the guilt out of it. And once you remove shame and guilt, it allows it to shift so much more quickly. So you gamify it and you go, oh, look at that. That's funny, isn't it? I was just distracted again. Okay, come back here. There I am doing that again. How about that? Right here. But don't judge yourself for it. Just gamify it and bring yourself back to the moment. Now, focused breathing is really helpful, right? So that might be deep breathing that allows you to inhale and exhale in the same number of breaths, or maybe half the inhale and half the exhale. So it might be 4 breaths in, 8 breaths out, and also doing alternate nostril breathing is a really effective way to actually bring your whole nervous system down into your parasympathetic nervous system and get you out of fight, flight, or freeze. Because you cannot be effective when you're in fight, flight, or freeze. You cannot access higher levels of intelligence, inspiration, and creativity when you're in that anxiety, that fight, flight, or freeze, and it makes everything so much harder and takes so much longer, which then causes more business anxiety as a result. So being able to effectively move yourself into your parasympathetic nervous system is really key. Now, here's a super helpful hint. We release most of our stress, or feel most of our stress, I should say, when we first wake up in the morning. Now, that first 17 seconds when you wake up, it will really make a huge difference. So one of the things that I suggest is when you first wake up, before your feet ever hit the floor, lie there for just a minute and feel 3 things you're really grateful for. Really feel into them, not just think about them, but really feel into them. Cultivate that attitude of gratitude, and then when your feet hits the floor, you're starting out your day in a much better way. You're not then in that same emotion that you typically start your day with. I really love to help people shift their mindset and create a massive level of abundance in their businesses, and that will obviously help you with your business anxiety. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on my videos. Okay, now back to the content. The next one is meditation. Now, even 10 minutes a day can radically shift your life. I don't know if you're familiar with the billionaire Ray Dalio. He talks about how he meditates multiple times a day for short periods of time because it makes a massive difference in his ability to stay focused and stay present, and it alleviates anxiety. The next one is control what you can and let go of what you can't. So much of life is spent on trying to control everything, but there's so much we can't control. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, which is that when you stay focused on what you can control, and really what you can control are your thoughts. That's it. You can control your thoughts. And that may be really hard to do, but practicing all these other things and clearing the limiting beliefs allows you to be more in control of your thoughts. And since your thoughts create your feelings and you take action from your feelings, then when you're taking action from a positive vibration, then you're bringing positive experiences into form, as opposed to taking action from a negative vibration, which means you're bringing negative experiences into form. And it will really allow you to stay more present as a result. Now, acknowledging and celebrating what is going well, because I can tell you, as bad as things may feel to you, there's always something that's working. And the more that we can focus on what is actually working rather than what isn't, it will allow more things to start working. When we shift our focus from focusing on what isn't working, because there'll always be things that isn't, to what is, then your reticular activating system will kick in and it will start to bring more things to your attention that is working. And the more you're focused on what is working, the more you're creating more things that is working. So it's a win-win all around by focusing on what is working. And what typically happens is people might have 10 things that they're doing. Maybe 2 of them aren't working, but 8 of them are. They're really focused on those 2 rather than the 8 that are. Shift that focus and it will make a huge difference. The last one is during your day, take breaks and shift your focus. Make sure you're taking breaks during the day and doing things that are really fueling your soul. Now, I have to say, some of my clients, when they first start implementing the taking break thing, they then check their phone or check their email or something like that. That is not going to help you shift out of anxiety. Taking a break and doing something that fuels your soul will, like getting into nature, going for a quick, even 5-minute walk, getting outside, will help make a huge difference to regulate yourself and bring your energy into the present moment so much more. Now, delegating, now this is going to sound really crazy. How does that help anxiety, right? But when you actually delegate and everything isn't on your own shoulders, all of it isn't sitting on your shoulders, it actually lightens the load in terms of how you feel. So learning how to effectively delegate will also decrease business anxiety. And I teach you very effectively how to do that in this video, how to delegate effectively in your business. So make sure you check that video out because it will lay it all out for you. So my client Chelsea, when she first started working with me, not only had she had, anxiety since she was 7 years old and it had been managed, but she had also come off of 2 failed launches. And she had just had a son. Her son was going through terrible twos, and she really wanted to create another launch and wanted it to be successful. But every single time she started to get momentum, that anxiety would kick in even more. And through the work that we did together, she actually said that she said to her husband one day, she never expected to say this out loud, but I just don't have anxiety anymore. As a result of conquering her anxiety, she was launching a new beta program and she wanted 11 people in her group. And we stopped working together a week before her program started, and she had already enrolled 10 people in her group and was able to even double her prices, feeling no anxiety in the process, which allowed her launch to be effortless and therefore successful. Now, one of the other things that really causes a lot of anxiety is people working all the time, right? So if you're working all the time and you're not having a life and you're feeling guilty when you're with your family that you're not in your business, and when you're in your business you're not with your family, then I highly suggest you grab my free course. It's a mini course that I literally teach. It's a condensed version, but it's the same things I literally teach my clients who pay me upwards of $50,000. And it's called 5 Ways to Shave 20 to 30 hours off of your work week while making more money. Register in the link below. Grab it now. Thanks, I'm Alaina, and I'll see you on the next video.